Cherie Hanson here. I'll just plug in my mic so you can hear me sharp. I was thinking today about the sense of self. I'll tell you a long involved story. When I graduated from high school, I was 17 and went across the state to go to university. And when I went there, what happened was my sense of self changed. Our sense of self relies so much on the mirrors around us. How are people treating us? What are we hearing? Are we hearing about who we are from other people? And when I went to university was the first time I was introduced to the concept of the flow of matter. My professor told us that the desk I was writing on wasn't solid. It was a bunch of atoms and molecules that were moving around and shifting and changing. They stayed in the general area. And that's when I came to an understanding of that is so much like the self. The self I am at 17 and the self I was at 27 as a new mother and the self I was when I went up north to teach in the far north, knowing nobody with two small children, and the self I was when I came down to the south and was teaching in high schools are so different from one another. And I came to understand that normal is an irrelevant word. There is no normal. There is just this circumstance, this moment, this collision of realities that is hitting us. And I also looked at when I lost my understanding of perception when I was 18, and the professor told us about the reticular activation system. Your mind is set up to see what it believes is real. If you see a green car, you've never seen a green car before, and then you get taught about green cars, you're going to see green cars everywhere. It's the same way that what we're having to choose to do right now. We can choose to see anger and hatred and enemies. You know, we come into a room like we were in the Old West in a saloon and we've got our 6-gun and we're ready to shoot it out and defend ourselves. And if anybody makes the wrong move, we're going to shoot the hat right off of their head. Or we can set up an expectation that when you walk into the room, you will see people who are being kind to one another. You can even try this as an experiment. If you're in a group and you come in and you're jagged and you're feeling fearful, observe what you're focusing on and then take a deep breath and blow it out and focus on seeing the kindness in the room. Your reticular activation system will pull focus. The camera will move in closer on the things you want to emphasize. Oh, that person got up and let the other person go past. Oh, that person brought something into the room in case somebody else wanted to have some of this cheese. That person smiled at someone when they said something they could have gotten angry at and gave them a pass and decided to stay in gentleness. Try this out as a test for how strongly you can change your sense of self. Your sense of self is not set in stone, marble, basalt, cement. Your sense of self is something you can manipulate. You can shift by using your intention and your focus. So go out the door intending to see kindness. Go out the door intending to see people who are taking care of one another. And two things happen. First of all, you're going to see what you expect to see. The second thing that happens, which is so wonderful, is you can feel the self shifting into a more relaxed, more secure, more loving person. Try it out. It really works. I also want to thank everybody that is subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to my videos. It's important that we share ways of dealing with this energy that's out in the world right now. 27th is the new moon in Pisces. It means you're going to be sent to another reality. You're going to get in what you thought was an elevator and end up on another planet, or maybe under the sea, and you can breathe water. So be ready for the shift. Also, take charge and shift yourself. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You are in control of who you are becoming. So try that exercise of moving into a room or going in the mall and just have your default setting take over, and then you see whatever you're programmed to see already. And then switch it. Switch it so that you are going to focus in on more positive things. And watch what happens. Watch how your shoulders go down and your jaw relaxes and your hands are no longer in a fist. And you're not checking to see where your knife is in your boot. Subscribe, share, and I thank everyone who has done that, who has put comments. And I like to say, I am here for you if you want a psychic channeled reading, to set up a new contract with yourself, to set up a new contract with your life. We can work on that together. I work remotely. I'm very remote most of the time. I'm way up there. And I want to say thank you. I appreciate you.